Since the start of the season, Raptors fans have been asking what this team can really look like if they are fully healthy. In the last 3 games, we have gotten a glimpse of what it does look like as the Raptors have rallied off 3 wins in a row. So in today's video, we're going to discuss why the NBA should fear this team if they can stay fully healthy. Let's get into it. Welcome NBA and Raptors fans. This is Amateur Hour Sports, the channel where you get NBA content with a focus on the Toronto Raptors. We do 4 videos a week at least. So if you like what you see from today's video and you want to see more of myself talking about the NBA and the Raptors and videos and content just like this, then make sure you are subscribed to the channel, stay up to date with the content, and join the almost 8,000 people already subscribed. But let's get down to business for today's video, talking about this healthy Toronto Raptors team. And Raptors fans, we are absolutely loving what we see from this team right now. They've won 3 games in a row, and most recently a nice 129-104 win over the San Antonio Spurs. And just a few nights ago against the New York Knicks, it was the first time all season that the Raptors had everybody of their main rotation available to play. Yesterday wasn't quite the case, as Yuta Watanabe and Svi Mihajlovic were out for health and safety protocols, but nonetheless, most of the rotation and that key group, those core players, the starters, were all available to play. And now we've truly seen what this team can look like if they are fully healthy. And obviously, what's the most important thing, I'd say, is the fact that, you've got all your stars. The 4 most important players on this team are undoubtedly OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam, Freddie VanVleet, who is absolutely an all-star this season, and Scottie Barnes. Gary Trent, another great piece to add into that to round off our starting 5, that small ball starting 5. Now, a lot of people don't quite necessarily like that small ball starting 5, and I am in agreement with that. But the most important thing about this healthy Raptors team isn't just the fact that we have all that firepower, we have all those stars available to play for our team. The most important thing for me about this is the fact that we have so much more flexibility with our rotations, where we can eliminate the bench unit. Basically, what I mean by when I say eliminate the bench unit is that we don't really have a bench unit. Nick Nurse has done such a phenomenal job in the last 3 games of not really using a bench unit and more so building a fluid rotation. The rotations look so good right now. The Raptors have come up against the Clippers, the Knicks, and the Spurs in the last 3 games. All 3 teams had some injuries, and the Raptors, they can only beat what's in front of them, of course, but they ended up beating the Clippers 116-108. They beat the Knicks 120-105, and they beat the Spurs by even more. And in the Knicks and Spurs game, had they not gone into garbage time early, where they had to play Banton and Flynn a bunch of minutes, they would have won by even more points. So the Raptors, only beating what's in front of them, they have completely taken care of business in the last 3 games. And it is down to, obviously, some outrageously good performances from Fred VanVleet and Pascal Siakam. But I think it is the bench unit finally finding a way to contribute to this team. And the reason we can do that is because of the players that we have available. Obviously, slightly more talent in the team right now, but it goes beyond that. And let me explain why it does go beyond it. So let's look at the starting lineup. The small ball starting 5 of VanVleet, Gary Trent, Scottie Barnes, Pascal Siakam, and OG Anunoby. I'm not that huge of a fan with it, but the starting lineup is just a starting 5, just something you call a starting 5, because in the last couple of games, Nick Nurse has quickly diverted away from it, and I really, really like how he's done this rotation. Scottie Barnes gets the first 4 minutes against the Knicks and comes out for Khem Birch to get that center in there to really round off the starting 5 a little bit better. Yesterday, it only took him just over 2 minutes to take off Scottie Barnes. And this is exactly what I said he should do about a month ago when the team is fully healthy. If you want to start all 5 of these guys, because all 5 of them play better when they start, go ahead, make that switch early and run Scottie Barnes with this second unit. I said this like a month ago, and it seems like we are using this path here. Scottie Barnes comes out early, you get in Khem Birch. That's basically your core 5, and it allows Scottie Barnes to play with the bench unit, who is in desperate need of a ball handler. Malaki Flynn and Delano Banton aren't really cutting it for that second unit. So Scottie Barnes, a very capable ball handler, takes those reins with the bench unit. And with the bench unit, we rarely see 4 bench players all on the court together. We typically see Scotty Barnes with, let's say, Precious Achiuwa and Chris Boucher. That's your typical 2. You also can factor in Simi Luke or Yuta Watanabe, but yesterday it was Justin Champagnie who played very well, shooting 4 for 5 from 3. And then it's usually Gary Trent or OG Anunoby playing alongside Scotty Barnes with that bench unit. And that is so key to this team, because earlier on in the season, it was like the starters versus the bench. The starters would go out there, get some good results. They'd be, doing great things, putting you in the lead, and the bench would come in and that would all just evaporate. And you would have no choice but to bring your starters back in and give them like 40 minutes per game. Fred VanVleet is averaging the most amount of minutes in the NBA this season because you just have to have him on the floor. You cannot afford to not have him on the floor. But things maybe are going to start to change with the fact that we have this ability to do such fluid rotations. You rarely see that's 5. Those 5 guys who start together, they rarely are on the floor together. Even just the Barnes, Siakam, VanVleet, and Anunoby lineup. They've played just over 60 minutes together throughout the entire season. And they barely play it all together when we have these games where teams are fully healthy, because the Raptors, they share the wealth. They share the talent all throughout the rotations. And it just makes for such a better watch as a Raptors fan. It makes me so much more confident in this team. I went into the Spurs game yesterday feeling confident, like we're going to win this game. We have the players. We are going to win this game. Whereas some other games, like the OKC game we blew, I go in with like a little bit of a seed of doubt in my mind. But right now I'm feeling like this team can go and accomplish things. And the biggest thing, the reason I think that we can accomplish these things is because the bench is contributing positively, and they're contributing positively because it's a much more well-rounded unit. Chris Boucher, who I've been super critical of this season, and for the right reasons, was great yesterday. His stats didn't really show it. He had 4 points. He was 1 for 4 from the field, but he was a plus 21. Chris Boucher has found a way to be more effective on defense. He's gotten quite a bit better with his off-ball defense, though it still needs a bit of work. The on-ball defense is definitely improved, and the offensive game, he's playing much more within the flow of the offense, not just chucking up a ton of shots. He knows his role, and he's influencing positive things for the Raptors. Same can be said for Precious Achiuwa, who doesn't need to stuff the stat sheet yesterday to be a plus 15. He's helping influence positive things for the team. The Raptors, not a secret, have the worst bench in the league, statistically proven. But recently, we've had the ability to use more of our starters with some bench players just so we can have 2 solid units of players playing. We never have to sacrifice any amount of game time because, well, we have to give some of these other guys some rest. Fred VanVleet, because he's the only real good ball handler on the team, the only really good point guard because Banton and Flynn have had just a torrid couple of months. We can't really afford to have him on the bench, but now we have the ability to do that. He didn't even play in the 4th quarter yesterday. We got to rest him for the game tonight against the Milwaukee Bucks because Scotty Barnes running with that second unit, and he has players around him who can help him succeed. Scotty Barnes was outstanding yesterday. He was 1 rebound and 2 assists away from a triple-double. And if, Achiuwa could make a dunk, or OG Anunoby, who's struggling to find his feet so far since coming back from injury, could hit a 3, then maybe he would have gotten it, but OG's going to find his feet. He's going to be absolutely fine. And Precious Achiuwa, he's slowly getting better. We're going to be patient with him. But the point I'm trying to make is that when this Raptors team is healthy, we've known throughout the entire season that the starting unit is great. We have some of the best starters in the league. We have a really good crop of players, very top-heavy team. It's the bench that lets us down. No secret that that is the case. But now with this Raptors team, the bench isn't letting us down. In fact, in a lot of circumstances, the bench is starting to kind of elevate the game because Scotty Barnes is so good at controlling that second unit. So the Raptors, that weakness that was there has now kind of evaporated. Another weakness is obviously the lack of a true center. Jakob Poeltl exposed that yesterday with a double-double in a very short amount of work in terms of minutes. However, taking away that bench unit, having that big weakness for the team, if we can maintain that, if we can still use these fluid rotations, like I've really liked what Nick Nurse is doing with the rotations of this team. If we can maintain that and continue to do that, this is a scary team in the NBA. And if this team can stay healthy, this team has the ability to be like, in a tight Eastern Conference, a 6th, maybe even up to a 5th seed. But that's a big if this team can stay healthy, because we're a very injury-prone franchise. This season and last season, we suffer a lot of injuries, and obviously with what's going on in the world, you can lose half your roster on any given game. So the Raptors, if we can maintain health, I can see us being one of those positions. If we can't, I see us faltering to like a playing spot where Masai Ujiri can decide doesn't really want to be in a playing position. Maybe we fall a little bit further. But this team, when it's healthy, is so entertaining to watch and so exciting to watch. And Raptors fans, we waited so long to see what a healthy team can be, because the Knicks game was the first time all season, 33 games in, where the Raptors had all of their main rotation available to play, and only Utah and Svi were missing from yesterday's game. This team is good when it is healthy, and I just sincerely hope we can maintain that health and continue to push on through the season. Milwaukee's coming up tonight. They're big favorites. They have some injuries, but they still have Giannis. This is a true test for this team. They are healthy. As of the recording this video, we are a healthy team. We'll see what happens in the next few hours going up to the game. But as of right now, we're healthy, and this is a real test to see how good this team can be when players are available. So what did you make of my points for this video? Did you agree? Did you disagree? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below, because that is it for me for today. Thanks so much for watching this video, guys. Please, if you did enjoy, make sure to give a like on the video. It goes a long way to supporting what I do, making basketball content, and it helps me make more basketball content, believe me. And make sure you're also subscribed to the channel. If you're new, you like the video, we do videos like this 4+ times a week, and we're looking to spread out to some more general NBA content as well, keeping that primary focus on the Toronto Raptors in 2022. We'll see you again next time for another video.